Okay, now you can start.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
So, hello everyone. Thank you so much for coming today to our empathy circle about inner critic, a topic very close to my heart. So yeah, I think we should start. What I was thinking to do today is start with, as always, with a meditation, bring our awareness to our inner critic, and then we will have, like, I will listen to someone if he wants. So we will take that one step at a time. All right. So are we ready to start? Yeah. Okay. So maybe take a moment to just get comfortable to your seat. Yeah, bringing your attention to your body, and maybe for a moment, just look around your environment. You can look behind you, side of the walls, front, just to bring your awareness to your space. And a bit also movement into the body. So as you are turning with your eyes, let your head turn and let your torso turn. Noticing the spine. Checking in if there is any impulse of stretching before we stay in stillness. Feel free to do that. Maybe you want to kind of rock your sit bones, whatever is present for you. Notice the impulse of your own body. And as you gently settle into your seat, I will invite you to close your eyes for this part, if that's something that feels comfortable for you. If not, please feel free to just lower your gaze, but do what it feels right for you to bring your awareness inwards for a moment. So you might see me now and I can close my eyes. I will open them again. And yeah, just take a moment and bring your attention to your body. Noticing any physical sensations. And maybe it could be something as simple as noticing your feet on the floor or your thighs resting on a chair or the sit bones, the length of your spine and the support of your chair behind you if you are in a chair. Could be the shoulders, the neck. So you're looking for physical sensations in your body. Or maybe you're curious about how your body contacting the earth. Maybe you're aware of your hands resting on your desk or on your laps. So take a few moments to really notice the immediate sensations qualities that you are experiencing right now. And maybe there are some familiar or non-familiar sensations, like places on your body that you might feel aches, pains, tight spots, but also places on your body that they feel flow, ease, well-being. And maybe it's a place that they feel really neutral. Just take a moment to notice that. And slowly start bringing your awareness inside your torso. The whole area from your throat down to your bottom, to the ball of your pelvis. Maybe notice if there is any emotions or thoughts there. And just notice them, no judgment. So you're just checking in with sensation, emotions, and thoughts as they're coming up right now in this moment. And for a moment, as you're settling in, I invite you to bring your awareness to the voices that often you hear in your head. Bring your awareness to the head. Voices that might be self-critical or judgmental. And for some of you might be many, or perhaps just one that consistently showing up. You might bring your awareness to the part that is critical or criticizing right now. And maybe get curious to what this part is critical about. What is that part critical about? Take a moment here to sense what is happening in your body as you connect with these voices. What is now the sensations, emotions, and thoughts that arise? And maybe for today, you would like to pick one of these self-critical voices or part, perhaps the most familiar one, or the one you feel comfortable to working with today. Pick up one. And stay open and curious as you connect with it. Keep checking in, noticing the sensation in your body. And the invitation here, just for a moment, is to try to distance yourself from the critic. You might say something like, I notice a part of me, a voice, a place. Say that I am, whatever comes up for you there. Fill the gap. Hmm. What is happening in your body as you create space to be open and curious? And as you become more comfortable, allow the critic to be comfortable too. Maybe for a moment, get extra curious. Let it know that you are here, that you can see it, hear it, and be with it. Listen to what it has to say. And maybe it's trying to protect you, or is there for a good reason. Take your time and keep checking in to ensure you can hold space for both of you and the critic. And maybe for a moment you want to consider when the critic first visits you. Even you can ask, why is he keep showing up? What is he worrying about? And as you're doing that, give it time to express itself fully until it feels heard. Mm. And then, if it feels right, you might want to ask, what does it want for you to know or do? What does it want for you to know or do? Maybe you can notice any shifts now in your body as you engage with your inner critic. And if it feels fully heard, you might find it is softening. And if it provides a need is wanting for you, take a moment to sense if you can provide it to yourself now. Maybe self-acceptance, love, compassion. Maybe you can notice now, what would you dare in your life? What you love doing? If the critic is softening. What you love doing. Mm. Take a moment and check in with your body. How does it feel now? What has changed? Do you need anything to ground it and be present? Before we come to an end. You might want to thank your inner critic, or maybe the critical part. You might want to thank your body and yourself for holding space. Acknowledging that what's unfolding today, whether a lot or a little, is okay. Is the knowing you can connect with your inner critic. And you can repeat this practice whenever you need. Or maybe you want to place a hand to your heart and a hand to your cheek. Lean towards that. Feel the warmth of your hands. And when you're ready, in your own time, allow your eyes to open. And maybe before you engage with the screen, just look again into your environment. Just check in with your own space first. Hmm. And take a moment if you need to write something, maybe something came up for you. Can take, how long can we take, Annette? Sorry, I'm not very good. 2 minutes, perfect. Take 2 minutes if you want to write something down, or if you need anything, maybe you want to move again, jiggle a little bit. So it's up to you. And see you in 2 minutes. I just realized I muted myself. Do you need 1 more minute, or you ready to come back into the meeting?
Some folks are still writing.
Yeah, just let's give 1 more minute.
Yeah. Hey.
Okay.
I was gonna say I put something in the chat, but Mavra will explain it.
Yeah. So the first part is to find a volunteer or someone that feels comfortable to for me to listen to. And I don't know if all you're familiar for focusing with focusing, and it doesn't matter if you're not, you can be your first session, or if you are familiar and you want to volunteer, it's the same thing, doesn't really matter. So it's up to you. You just need to, yeah. The way we will do it is I will listen to someone for about 12 minutes. Shall I check first, actually? Have you done that empathy circle again? Is it many people that's the first time here? Or first time? Okay, brilliant. So I just will give you a little bit of the insider thing, so it doesn't feel very overwhelming. So what we're going to do, the first part, I will listen to someone for about 12 minutes, we said, Annette, yeah? And then after I listen to is when we use this empathy circle, which is me and the rest of the team. So I'm listening to someone, and then the rest of the group is also listening with me, and it's checking into their own bodies to feel what is coming up for them. And then at the end, you will be invited and more than welcome to share what we call an empathetic, or like an empathy sharing. You know, an example that Annette had shared with us is, when I heard you say, or when I saw you do, I felt in my body XY, you know, like whatever it come up for you. And the invitation here is, it could be an image, it could be a phrase. It's just, the invitation here is to be more about your own experience rather than the experience of the person that is said. So it's what you felt in your body. How did you sense that? And then somebody else, it will listen to another person. So we're going to hopefully have enough time to do that twice. Does that sound okay? Yes?
And then we'll check in, and then we'll maybe
Yes.
do a third round, or we'll go right to breakout rooms. We just see.
And we'll have a breakout. Okay, yes. So just to also say that this is my first time too. So I'm doing an empathy circle with Annette. So you're not alone there. Yeah.
And somebody asked privately if the recording is how the recording works. So the recording is video, but it doesn't record your names. So If you're sharing on camera, you will be in the video. And if you don't want to be in the video, then you can feel free to share in the chat or share with your camera off if you want to share audio and not video. Okay, yeah, sorry, wanted to share that.
Yeah. Okay. So the person that I will listen to, maybe this is also the question on it, it will be recorded and it will be shared. So yes, makes you feel comfortable with that as well. Anyone? Perfect, Rachel. What I'm going to just gently invite you before we start is to take a moment to ground again into your body. And yeah, maybe again, you can lower your gaze or close your eyes for a moment. And you can bring your awareness back to your physical body. And then to the front tissue of your body, throat, chest, solar plexus, lower abdominals. Just for a moment. Yeah. And maybe here, when you're ready, in your own time, see what's coming up for you right now. Yeah. And if you feel like you want to share what you were going to share, please feel free. We can do that. We can start there.
Yeah. I connected to the inner critic, and I felt sadness, and kind of internal, like closing in. I think the internal critic that I heard was, you're not doing enough. And I think the sadness came from the fact that the critic actually wanted reassurance. So it was kind of like at first felt mean and critical, but then there was that other layer of sadness because it wanted security and things to be okay. And kind of it thought that if more things were done, things would be like more secure, that there'd be more reassurance. Yeah. And just kind of the idea that like working harder would mean more security. But then hearing it want reassurance, I kind of just felt a bit lighter and more able to breathe. Because connecting to just the part of you need to do more felt very heavy and like anxious.
So can I repeat some things back to you and see how they feel now in this moment of the things you said? It's okay. Yeah. Maybe again, as I do that, if you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes or just sense back into your body. And you were saying that for you, it felt a feeling, an emotion of sadness closing in. And the critic is about not doing enough, need to do more. Yeah, working harder, some of the word that we said. And you say, well, you were sensing to that, it felt heavy. Yeah. And it feels right, may I ask you, where is your body right now feels heavy or sadness?
Mm. Mm. Yeah.
Can you locate that?
I feel this sadness in my heart and then like in my upper forehead.
Yeah. Part and upper forehead, yeah. Mm. And as you have your hands there and you contacting to that, what is happening?
Mm. I think it's kind of like that. My brain feels overworked, like looking for the ways to have that reassurance and security, and then the heart feels so sad, you know, just not having that or not realizing maybe that that's there.
Right. So there is a part, is that right? Is it a part that needs some reassurance, or is it the critic needs reassurance?
Yeah, I think the heart is like almost connected to maybe a feeling of not having that.
Mm. Mm. And is it a way you can connect to that part that he feels that it doesn't have that reassurance? What that will look like?
Yeah.
Yeah. Something there in the throat area.
Yeah, it's kind of like the using my voice to get my own reassurance or to just know that it is okay.
Mm.
Yeah, kind of that okay doesn't look like doing more. It's like it's just being yeah, almost like just being with what is, maybe.
Yeah, okay. Giving that reassurance that it's okay. No need to do more.
Yeah.
What you say? Just being. And how do you sense now your body as you think that maybe there's no need for more, is okay to be as it is?
Yeah. I feel my shoulders relax when I hear that.
The shoulders drop and relax.
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay.
Mm. Is it a image or a color or any sensation that's coming up with that?
Yeah. I kind of just feel like, I don't know, there's like an image of like the tension in my forehead or like mine just kind of opening, like kind of like the French windows or like a French door. And then just some like light colors, like maybe whitish yellow.
Something around the forehead, like a French window's opening.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
How's that feel? That opening?
really good. It's like, I feel like it almost kind of opens up my throat too, to just, it like opens up this whole area here. And then I kind of feel like a residual like heaviness on my shoulders of like that expectation to do more that maybe I've carried for a while, and that the critic is kind of there still, and like that relationship that I have with it. It's like, it's, I don't know, still there in
Mm.
some way.
Yeah,
And then like this is more free now.
yeah, yeah. It's still there, but also now you're sensing something more open and free in the forehead and throat area. Yeah, and have a couple of minutes together. So maybe check in these two last minutes. Is it okay for now to be with these both of those? Yeah. And maybe you can take a moment as well and ask your body, what do you need right now to feel? If not complete, you can let your body know that you can visit with that, you have a tool, or yeah, what does it need for right now to feel right?
It's like a little pat on the shoulder.
Little pat on the shoulder, yeah. Maybe you can let it know as you tap in there that you can visit again. And maybe you can have this conversation. Yeah. Thank you so much, Rachel, for signing with
Thank you.
me. Please, if you need to take a couple of minutes, you might want to keep some notes, or you need some water, feel free to do that. And we will return. I think Annette, you will do that for us, bring us back to the room.
Now, Mavra, you'll walk us through the empathic reflections again.
Yeah. So
I guess
maybe, yes. Do you want to put the props in written as well, Annette, again, one more time? Is that okay, in case so people don't have to scroll, or they can see them? Sometimes with my accent as well, it's nice to have things written. And yes, and the invitation here is maybe we can take a moment again to assess in our bodies and see what did come up for you. What did feel connected? Rachel, maybe you want to offer something here, your felt sense. Could be an image or a word. And in this podcast, please take, like popcorn style, unmute yourself and say.
Shall I speak?
Yeah, of course.
Rachel, when I heard you say that you were looking for reassurance, that it would be okay, then I felt a great deal of sadness coming up. It was in my throat and around my nose and my eyes. And I could just see hands going around you. I felt, I felt somehow that sense of looking for reassurance. I felt very moved by that. Thank you.
Thank you, Joy. Yeah, Paula?
Rachel, when I saw you patting yourself on the shoulders, I felt right in my smack dab in the middle of my chest, compassion. Yeah. So thank you.
Thank you, Paula. Conrad?
Yeah, I felt very present because I felt you were really into it and exploring, and it made me feel present to my whole body. And when almost towards the end, you talked about being, just being, and really resonated with me. That, you know, I was being here now. And the pathing part too brought me to the centering part before, where I had different parts, and for the first time I was, you know, more with compassion with my heart part, and like my critic was more in my head, and I was acknowledging the critic was there, but I was really conscious of other parts, and while before it was too, I would, when I would have that, I would be too much in the critic, and so it really felt good to be with somebody doing the work, and that it really had me being very present
Mm.
in my own body and feeling my globality.
Mm.
Mm, Thanks.
Thank you, Conrad. Thank you. Anyone else? Annette?
Rachel, when I heard you say the word security, that really resonated in my body. I was like, oh, me too. That's what mine's doing, is finding security. So thanks for that word.
Catherine?
Rachel, when you said you the French doors were opening and you saw a white and yellow light, it just was as if I was seeing the white and yellow light, and it felt hopeful in me. I felt full of hope. So I thank you for that.
Mm. Thank you. Yeah. Vicky, did you want to say something? No? Okay, sorry.
And we can read the one in the chat.
Lovely, yes. Oh, Mirabel, when I saw you touch your throat, find your inner voice, I had an epiphany, and I found it really beautiful that you found this resource in yourself. Thank you for that. Yeah. Yeah.
I think, I don't know if we went over this, but if there are no others, the next step is for Rachel, for you to see if there's anything you want to say to the group.
Can I say my empathy?
Oh yeah, yeah. First, and then Rachel can share if
Yeah.
it's just something else. Yeah.
I had this image, and again, is that French door. I love French doors. I couldn't believe it when you say I love them, just like the wood. I think they're beautiful. And when you open, and I could feel that forehead opening at the same time, I felt my heart opening, the French door and almost felt some low, like that yellow light coming out through my head into the forehead. It just felt really connected, very like from one person to the other, like that feeling of not enough is so familiar to me, and I'm assuming to many. And I just felt that connection of what if we are open our French doors, either in our minds or in our hearts, what will happen then? So thank you so much for sharing this.
I have one, one more too. When Rachel, when you had your hand on your heart, well, it was on your head too, but on your heart, I really felt a warmth in over my heart and spreading in my chest, like compassion. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hearing the like responses, kind of, I guess like a kind of opening, more so even, is what I feel, kind of just like like that reassurance almost is like right there, like kind of getting embedded in my heart, just being heard and seen. Yeah, just kind of like it's like little droplets going into my heart.
So, Rachel, when I heard you speak of your sadness, you were feeling it in your heart and on your forehead. It really resonated in my heart, and my throat was responding to your speaking about it. So that was beautiful.
Yeah. When I hear you say that, I can feel that connection maybe that we don't think about, or maybe I haven't thought about, between my heart and my forehead and just the space in between. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Rachel. Thank you so much for being here and doing this, and everybody that's sharing. I would like us to give us one more round, a new experience, if that's okay. And what I would like to invite you now is someone to also volunteer to be listened to, and someone to volunteer to be the focuser. So I'm guessing if you're familiar with focusing, you can be the one that you listen to, or it doesn't have to. Just two new people. So this time we will need two new people. And that would be again another 10 minutes, about 10 to 12 minutes, yeah, Annette? Yeah, Connor? Connor, what would you like to be listened to or to listen to?
I'd like to focus, to be listened to.
You would like to be listened to? Okay.
Ellen put in the chat she could be the listener.
Ah, fantastic.
Yeah, so whenever you're ready, you might start to bring some awareness into your body, and maybe speak about or just recall what came up for you. Maybe there's a bit of it there with you.
Yeah, I'm still a lot in my body, feeling my connection with the ground, the sole of my feet, my hands, my arms. I feel my head too. Sometimes I have a disconnection between the head and the rest of the body. So there I've got the whole gang in. And feel a bit of kind of fizziness, kind of bubbling almost, and a kind of a downward movement in my body.
Hmm.
A bit of letting go. I kind of feel good, which I usually don't when I start focusing. More like feeling I get when I finish focusing.
Hmm.
So that's kind of nice. And I think it's linked because I felt this inner critic in my head, and it was like my mother's voice. It was linked with me going to see my grandfather, my paternal grandfather, dead, and I was 12 years old, and I went with a checkered red shirt, and my mother was not pleased because she was thinking it had to be black, and it was disrespectful. And so I felt the critic in my head, and I felt this heart part of mine that was just being alive.
Hmm.
And I think
Something.
yeah,
I was just going to repeat those words, just something in your heart that is feeling alive.
yeah, and saying that I've got emotions coming up, kind of tears, and I feel like pulsing in my feet, feel present in my body.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, I feel alive, so I've got feelings, emotions, and I was kind of connected with my grandfather, and I was just outside working, I think, participating in this dysfunctional family, preparing the wood for the heating for the winter. And I just thought, oh yeah, I gotta go see my grandfather. And I just got on my bike and I went. And there I'm feeling like the feeling I had before going, and how I must have blocked it after because of my critic, my mother criticizing me, and me taking that on board and kind of cutting myself off from my emotions.
Yeah.
And so I really feel my heart, my chest, and the sadness is just like okay, it's just a feeling.
Hmm. Yeah.
And so my grandfather was dead, and that was kind of linked with black, and I was alive, and that was linked with red. I think it's okay to be alive,
Hmm.
even if people are dead, especially when people are dead. I'm kind of sweaty. I got my whole body present, feeling more in my legs, more in my feet and sole of my feet. And the connection between my hand and my chest, my heart.
Mm.
And the
Yeah,
sadness is not.
go ahead.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
The sadness is not about my dead grandfather or my inner critic. My inner critic was that way, I think, because my mother hadn't grieved her two parents dying in a tragic accident when I was 13 months old. And I think the sadness is of me abandoning myself when I was criticized, and I incorporated that. I just took it on board and I just cut myself off from my feelings and my needs. So it's like coming back to my body, to my feelings and my needs. My need to exist and to be alive.
And I'm just wondering how you can sense like the part of you that had to shut down. Uh, you know, what it's.
Well, because at the centering at the beginning of the session, I felt three parts. I felt the inner critic in my head, I felt my heart, and I felt like the disease, in my belly, my belly. And so I sort of checked that when I was connecting with this scene with the grandfather stuff, and the belly feeling wasn't there anymore. It was like probably linked with the head critic part, and it was like cutting off that middle part, a bit like before with Rachel, with the heart and the forehead and the throat being maybe the expressing what's present. And to me, it's as if my dis-ease in my belly and like listening to the critic in my head just cut off my heart. And so that part was probably trying to protect me and protect me from being cut off from my mother.
Yeah. I'm just letting you know there's 2 minutes left.
Yeah. So I'm really glad to be alive.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if there's a little bit of appreciation maybe for that one that was trying to protect you from losing the connection with your mother, or compassion, or just some.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, there's some understanding, comprehension, and with that comes compassion.
Mm.
Yeah. It just took me 60 years to come around it.
Mm.
Yeah. I think that's a good place to stop and thank my body for all the different parts, and especially that part that feels whole and complete, present, and alive. And yeah, the critical part that was trying to protect me, and the disease in my belly that was trying to protect me too. And my heart that went into hiding to protect me.
Thank you.
So, yeah. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Ellen and Conrad. And now we're going to do, I will have a time to do a second empathy circle. Yeah, we're going to say, maybe, Ellen, if something is fresh, you want to say empathy reflection.
First we'll all pause
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, pause for a
a little
moment.
moment to just
Yeah.
see what's happening, and then we'll share. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Please.
Yeah, so I'll just, yeah, briefly just appreciated how rich and present the feelings were that came. And especially the vivid moment for me was when you described the red shirt and that your mother, you know, got on you because it wasn't black. You were wearing the wrong thing. But for you, it was just you being you, the natural, just simple, innocent, good-hearted connection with your grandfather. And it was so vivid for me. Just, I don't know that I can say I felt it somewhere in my body, that it was just so, very real for me. So thank you.
Thank you, Ellen. Does anyone else want to say? Anyone?
Thank you, Conrad. When I heard your voice, and when I saw you breathing through your mouth out, like breathing out through your mouth, I did it too. And it was a very strong feeling, but still very empowering. And yeah, it gave me the connection of being human, to feel vulnerable and to see this. And I really appreciate that you have been so open and so pure. And yeah, when you were talking, I had then and we like I was kind of breathing with you, and I felt like hugging myself, like taking care. And that was a very nice experience. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Rachel?
Yeah, thank you, Conrad, for sharing. When I heard you talk about things from the past, kind of the image of a really cold ocean storm came up in my mind, and I felt in my body this feeling of flow with so many different layers. Kind of a quality of flowiness was in my body, and it was holding sadness and gratitude, and it was just so multi-layered. I could just feel all the different things flowing in my body when I heard you speak.
Thank you, Rachel.
I'd like to go.
Yeah, please do.
Conrad, your whole representation of the story touched me very deeply. And touch is a word that cannot contain at all actually the depth of the whole body felt sense. I really went deep inside and into my whole body. And the key thing was when you said, and black was for the dead and red was for the living. Pause a moment. And so that moment gave me an image of my inner world. And it was black at the bottom, like the ground, and under, which was for the dead, but it was not dead people. It was dead deeds of mine and parts of mine, mainly killed by guilt. And guilt have prevented me to live for a very long time, no matter how long I've worked with that. And thinking that it would be no progress anymore, so it's time to start living and not being able. And now it just, once of a sudden, that just sent me into living. It was like, yes, the black, that is for the dead. All that is buried and belongs there. And I can wear the red for living. I can live and walk over that ground. And I acknowledge, I know it is there, but I can live. I don't need to go under, to walk under anymore. And this, if at any point there is anything like wise in there that is left for me, I can open and receive it. But other than that, it's there. It's just there. So, and I'm alive. And I can live. And thank you. Still processing that in my body. Thank you so much.
Thank you for that sharing. Thank you.
Just check if there's any others who want to share, and I'm just conscious of the time. So what I suggest we do is we'll take any last shares, we'll get Conrad to close, we'll close the circle, and then we'll see if people can stay. If you want to stay and go into a breakout room, we can do that. We can go past the 10:30 for those who can stay. Because I don't think we don't quite have time to do a full breakout as planned. So Are there any other reflections for Conrad?
Alicia?
Yeah, wow. I'm trying to find the words, and especially after hearing Alana, I feel that Conrad's process and your reflection speak so much about what was going on in me, what happens in me around so when I heard the words, it's okay to be alive, even when someone is dead, especially when someone is dead. My whole being lit up from my heart. It was like a star of my body and went to my throat and just thank you. No more words. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Patricia. Okay. Paula?
Conrad, thank you. When you did this gesture of the cutoff of, I felt this like aloneness of having to be, you know, that critic that says you have to be alone in your head.
Mm.
And when I saw your tears, that flow of expression of sadness and how you could be with it, how it resonated a lot with me of just being with that and expressing it finally and not being alone. Like there was a, you know, they came together, the head and the heart. And so thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Paula. And thank you also, Connor, that was very emotional for me, and what it came up because it was more than a feeling of I went to two parts, like me as very young child. My inner critic relate a lot in family as well, and then but my also something I wasn't aware as much about my inner critic as being a mother, and how that sometimes she blocks me be as I would like to be, and it just yeah, I don't have the words. I just feeling it a lot in my heart. It was some way, I don't know how, you made a part of me healing. My mom passed away this December as well, so it's all close, and just listen to your words and be present, your experience. It can help me to feel love for the whole thing, and even for my inner critic. So thank you so much. Right, Annette. What are we doing now? Connor, I think, would you like to say?
Yeah, does anybody
Well-
else know? Just check if anybody else wants to jump in. Okay. Okay, yeah, then to Conrad. Sorry.
Thanks everybody. I was also touched in return, especially with Iwana. Yeah. It's the good and the bad part of being alive. You get emotions. Thanks everybody. It was incredible for me too. That's it.
Yeah.
So Mavra, maybe you'll close the circle with a small little checkout,
Yeah.
pause, and then
Yeah, maybe we can pause for a moment and sense our body. And maybe there is just a word that I feel, I sense right now in this moment. And it can be said, or it can be just let ourselves know. It's up to you, but it's maybe you can check right now. I feel, I sense. Mm. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Thank you for your powerful sharings and for your presence.
Yeah.
So yeah, Ned,
Yeah,
thank you.
I'm gonna stop the recording now, so we'll say goodbye
Yeah.
to those who are watching us. And I'll stop it.
Mhm.